Have you ever felt exhausted? I mean, like truly exhausted, not just, oops, I stayed up a little late or I had to wake up earlier than normal, but exhausted where you just can't seem to catch up on energy. If you could just sneak in even a 10-minute nap, you know it would make a world of difference. I remember in high school walking through the halls with two of my best friends and just thinking, I could literally lay down on the floor right now and completely fall asleep. And I wasn't kidding. And lately, that is the same pace I have caught myself in, and it's not one that I recommend to anybody. Thankfully, I know this is just a season and the end is in sight, but it still is one of genuine exhaustion where you wake up tired. Even if you go to bed early, you're not quite getting enough sleep. And if you're like me and use an Aura ring, which I absolutely love, and if you have been on the fence about it, I highly recommend taking the plunge. I'll put a link that they gave me in the show notes, which I think gives you 10% off. But no matter where you get it, I strongly urge you, go ahead and buy it now. It gives you all sorts of data from a readiness score, sleep score, information about your heart rate, as well as sleep debt, which for me, that is normally a non-issue. However, in this season, the other day, I had almost 5 hours of sleep debt. I thankfully have been able to chip away and currently am at around 2 hours, and I'm hoping that I can catch up this week. But it's really important information because it's what your body is functioning on day to day and why you might notice it's more difficult to make decisions or to focus or to show up 100%. And that's why today's episode is titled, You Don't Need to Figure Everything Out Today. We are going to talk about focus, priorities, problem solving, and really where you need to put your energy and what you need to focus on right now, which isn't solving your whole life. So don't worry. This episode, I hope, is going to give you hope, as well as some tools to help alleviate pressure, refocus, and get back on track. Because I know I'm grateful that I can see the end in sight, but I don't know if that's your story. And so if you are in a season or know that one is imminent, I want you to know that you have the right tools and resources to navigate it in a healthy way and get done the right things. So let's dive in. Do you ever feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, but still feel behind, overwhelmed, or even a little disconnected from your own life? Like your days are full, but not necessarily meaningful. And no matter how much you try to get organized, reset, or even quote unquote do better, it doesn't seem to stick. If that's you, you're in the right place. Welcome to A Fresh Start. I'm Shannon Marquita, your habit and mindset coach, and this is a space for busy professionals who want to simplify their lives, build sustainable habits, and feel more like themselves again. I'm not here to give you more to do. I'm here to help you do what matters better, calmer, and with more intention. Everything I share comes from lived experience, walking through burnout, pressure, and the constant feeling of needing to keep up, and then learning how to rebuild in a way that actually lasts. So instead of scrolling, comparing, or even searching, trying to find the next quick fix, this is your space to slow down, reset, and come back to yourself. You can always find more support at my website and via social media. So be sure to connect at Shannon Marquita, that's Marqueta. Let's get into today's episode. Do you travel for work? It's amazing to me with the digital age we live in, how much can be done without having to travel. But sometimes the need is still there. And I know for me, over these last 2 to 3 weeks, I have been in different countries, states, cities, and while it's been fun to get to celebrate and have good conversations and also travel, I like being home. And with such a busy pace, I was reminded how quickly my nervous system can shift into survival mode when I'm running too hard. Because travel requires a lot. It requires energy, time management, packing, focus, making sure we don't forget anything, checking all the boxes, and pressure and stress can quickly build, which isn't abnormal. I know for me, I used to do everything kind of last minute, not intentionally because I'm a poor planner, but because I would think to myself, well, I'll just wait because it'll be easier to pack the morning of or to go through the checklist. But what I found is one easy way to help alleviate stress and pressure is to create a plan ahead of time. This might sound very elementary, and in a way it is, but we often don't do it. So what I have tended to do, whether for events or for traveling, get-togethers, whatever it might be, is to start to lay the plan ahead of time. Because when I used to do it the other way, I would find that as I would leave my house to head to the airport or to start my drive if it was to a different city, my brain would then go through the final checklist, almost like the secret checklist. And that's when I would all of a sudden remember what I forgot. And I would think, oh, drat, now I either need to turn around, find somewhere where I can get whatever I forgot, see if someone can bring it to me or ship it, and I would just wish that I had thought of that sooner. But I can if I start sooner. So I would start making my checklists. I would run through it a few days ahead of time because our brains subconsciously are always problem solving and thinking when we give them white space, space to breathe, to relax, to fill in the gaps, to make sure there aren't any gaps. So when we're stressed, when I would pack last minute or go through my checklist last minute as I'm trying to also run out the door and not be late, we're stressed. Our brains are frantic. They're trying to make sure that we have all the essentials, but they're also trying to protect us. And so it wasn't until I would leave the house and I would have a little bit of calm because I'm now on my way that my brain would be like, oh, phew, we can release some of that stress. We can breathe a little and, oh yeah, I don't think we had this, or don't forget that. Well, I certainly did because I didn't think of it because I was so stressed before. So when I started to create my checklist ahead of time, when I started to make myself notes, when I started to get ready and to plan proactively at a calmer pace, everything slowed down, was less stressful, and I have forgotten less things because of it. I'm not perfect. I still forget things, but the things that have been forgotten are either far less important, but also few and far between. So I want to encourage you, first and foremost, try to plan ahead. It's going to save you a lot of stress. I now save notes in my phone for recurring trips or meetings so that I can refer back to those lists. I don't have to recreate them. And for recurring vacations, trips, events, meetings, etc., I try to get a little better every time, which means I'll tweak the list. I'll add to it. It's a living document. And so it isn't always perfect, but things that I maybe forgot or wish I had thought of, I can now edit this list and it gets better every time. And so my stress continues to go down as I am more proactive and planning and learning and growing. And that is a theme that I want you to carry through every area of your life. Another way I want to encourage you from personal experience to not feel like you have to figure everything out today or even recurringly is to have a plan that is repeatable. And what I mean by that is, for example, when I travel or when I have some of the same types of meetings or trainings, I create, in essence, grab bags, things that I can save that are ready for these types of events. So in my travel bag, I might have my toiletries that have duplicates. I have shampoo and conditioner that stay in there, body wash, deodorant. I have a second brush of one that I use every day so that I don't have to constantly be packing and unpacking. It creates less stress, less risk of forgetting things, and it helps me feel more ready with less effort. So those things always stay in there. Toothpaste, all the basics are ready to go. Same for meetings. I have things that always stay together. It might be some different name tag tools, some different cords that I use for setting up or charging that are always in a ready to go bag so that I'm not wondering, do I have a phone charger? Do I have my laptop charger? What about for my iPad? What about HDMI or any of these cables? All of it is always ready together for easy grab and go so that brain power is available to use elsewhere without having to stress repeatedly about the same things. Why this is especially important, not just for me in my life, but also for you, is because what I've noticed through a lot of different conversations and interactions is how much pressure we put on ourselves to figure things out immediately. And the need that we feel we must have of certainty in order to take action and move forward because we have a fear of mistakes, which causes us to overthink and really spend so much time searching for quote unquote the right answer. But the reality is that all this pressure is often what keeps us stuck. Our nervous systems want certainty because it feels safe And so we overthink and we try to reassure ourselves. And what we're really costing ourselves is both time, extra stress, and it becomes a negative loop and cycle of being stuck. What I want for you is to know that if you don't solve the next 5 years by this coming Tuesday afternoon, everything isn't over. It's going to be okay. Clarity often comes with action, with experience, in steps and layers, not all at once. We are able to receive and experience clarity, have some reflection and growth. It allows us to slow down because our confidence builds. And then we get an increased amount of clarity because we are continuing to move forward, take action, pivot and adjust accordingly, but not live in a constant state of stress and uncertainty and doubt, which then triggers more pressure and stress and doubt. We're breaking this unhealthy cycle and we're moving forward and increasing our confidence with action, steps, clarity, growth. And so not figuring everything out today is actually a blessing because it's not even possible. But by only doing what needs to be done today and reflecting on it and taking away the pieces of success and then building upon those allows us to realize that we don't have to have the perfect plan. The perfect plan doesn't exist. The perfect plan is actually one from experience that gets built along the way. We just have to commit to doing the next right thing, to taking the next right step. And so we ask ourselves, what is that? And even if we're not 100% sure, what do we feel confident is a strong possibility? Do that. From there, you will get insight. You will know how to adjust, what needs to change. Your confidence in what you're doing and where you want to go will also continue to build. And you'll have increased clarity of what actually matters. What do you actually know how to do and want? Keep going, one step at a time, grounded in a steady way. Let your nervous system know that you are safe, you are able, and you are doing the right things. You don't need to figure everything out. No one does. No one has it all figured out. We're all just over here doing our best. The key is that you are taking action and that you are learning to trust yourself with each new step. And that you are giving yourself permission not only to evolve and to grow, but to learn publicly because no one's perfect and you need to stop expecting that from yourself. And you are also, last but not least, allowed to change your mind. Sometimes I think we get afraid, myself included, that, well, this is what I said I'm going to do and how I said I'm going to do it. And if I change my mind, then people aren't going to trust me or I'm going to be considered a failure. And none of that is true. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to realize that maybe this isn't the best way forward for you. Maybe this wasn't the best laid plan or route to achieve or accomplish what it is you're working towards. And so as you learn publicly, as you grow, as you get increased clarity and confidence and are learning to trust yourself more and more, also know you're allowed to change your mind and do that confidently too. Through this whole process, you are becoming more and more who you're meant to be, and you are getting closer to achieving everything you're meant to because you're taking action and you're learning to trust yourself in a calm way, in a less pressure and stressful way, because you're not inflicting it on yourself anymore because you know you don't need to be perfect. And that in and of itself is such a blessing. You don't need to solve your whole life today. You don't need certainty to move forward. You just need enough clarity and confidence for the next step. All of this is part of why I created not only voice note coaching, but also a steady place. Because I know how hard it can be to slow our thoughts down, to process things clearly, and to feel like we have to carry everything ourselves and all at once. And I want you to know you're not alone. You're allowed to ask for help and input and do it with peace and confidence. And I'm here for you every step of the way. Part of true maturity is learning how to pause before demanding an answer or certainty from yourself. Take it all in, process it, and know that from a calm place, you will be able to make a decision and to know the answer of how to move forward. You are doing better than you think. You are smart, you are capable, you are a blessing, and you have what it takes. So don't feel like you have to figure it all out today. Today, just do what is meant for today and leave the rest for tomorrow and the future. I hope you have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. I'm really glad that you were here today. Be sure to take a moment and notice what stood out to you. And more importantly, what do you want to carry with you from this episode? And be sure to share it with someone who's feeling the same way. That could be personally or by way of leaving a review so that more people can find their way here too. For next steps, tools, and to work together, you can find me online at Shannon Marquita. That's Marqueta. And if you're looking for ongoing support and more real conversation, be sure to join my community. Link is in the show notes. Remember, you're not behind. Take what you need and trust that a fresh start is always possible and available to you. Talk to you soon.